Most people spend thousands of dollars on their landscaping and end up with a yard that looks exactly like everyone else's on the street. And the frustrating part is that the money almost never goes where it actually matters. It goes to bagged mulch that costs triple what it should, to big expensive plants that get outgrown by cheap ones within 3 years, and to plastic edging that looks worse than doing nothing at all. Meanwhile, the people whose yards genuinely look professionally designed are often spending a fraction of that, because they know where the markups are hiding. So today, I'm giving you 5 DIY landscaping tips that save you real money, not vague advice, actual dollars, with the specific numbers attached. Stick around for number 1, because it is the single biggest one on this list. It turns your yard into a source of free plants for the rest of your life, and almost nobody starting out knows it's even possible. And tell me in the comments, what's the one thing in your yard you've been putting off because you assumed it was too expensive? Number 5. Stop buying edging and cut a spade edge instead. Walk into any home improvement store and you'll find rolls of black plastic edging for somewhere around $1 to $2 a linear foot. And it is one of the most common things people buy for a new bed. Here's what actually happens to it. The ground freezes and thaws. The plastic works its way up out of the soil, and within 2 seasons, you've got a wavy black lip poking up around your beds that reads as cheap from 30 feet away. What professional crews do instead costs nothing. You take a flat spade and you cut a clean trench edge, straight down into the soil about 4 to 6 inches on the bedside, then angle the cut back out toward the lawn, so you end up with a small V-shaped trench between the grass and the mulch. That crisp dark line is what your eye actually reads as professionally maintained, and it holds a mulch bed in place better than plastic does. It needs redoing once a year, which takes an afternoon, and across a typical front yard you just saved yourself a couple $100 on material that would have looked worse. Number 4. Never buy mulch in bags again. Bagged mulch is the single most overpriced material in the entire garden center, and the reason people fall for it is that each individual bag looks cheap. $3 or $4, that's nothing. But a bag holds 2 cubic feet, and it takes about 13 and a half of those bags to make a single cubic yard. So at $4 a bag, you're paying more than $50 per cubic yard. For mulch, you also had to load into your car and haul yourself. That same cubic yard, ordered in bulk from a local landscape supply yard, typically runs in the $30 to $45 range, delivered and dumped in your driveway. On a yard that needs 4 or 5 cubic yards, that difference alone is real money. And you can do better than that. A lot of municipalities give away free wood chip mulch to residents from their own tree trimming operations, and local tree care companies will very often drop an entire truckload of fresh chips in your driveway for free, because otherwise they're paying a disposal fee to get rid of them. You just have to call and ask. Same job, same look, and it can cost you nothing but the work of spreading it. Number 3. Buy your plants small. This is the one that feels wrong and saves the most on a planting project. At the nursery, a 1-gallon shrub might run you $10 to $20, while the 5-gallon version of the exact same plant sits right next to it for $40 to $80. You are looking at the same species, the same variety, the same eventual mature size. The only difference is a couple years of somebody else's growing time, and you are paying a very steep premium for it. Here's what the price tag doesn't tell you. The small one very often catches up. A small plant puts its energy straight into growing roots and establishing itself, while a large transplant spends its first 2 or 3 years just recovering from the shock of being dug and moved, barely putting on any top growth at all. Give it a couple of seasons and that cheap 1-gallon plant frequently reaches the same size as the expensive one you'd have paid 4 times more for. On a bed with a dozen shrubs, buying small instead of large is the difference between $150 and $600. Unless you genuinely need instant size in one specific spot, buy small and be a little patient. Quick heads up before the last 2, because these are the 2 biggest money savers on this list. And number 1 turns your existing yard into a permanent source of free plants. So stick with me. Number 2, shop the end-of-season clearance window. There is a specific time of year when nurseries and garden centers start marking down their remaining plant stock hard, commonly 30 to 50% off, and often deeper than that as the season closes out, because they genuinely do not want to overwinter that inventory. Most homeowners never see those prices, because most homeowners shop for plants in spring when everything is fresh, full-priced, and picked over by everyone else doing the same thing. Here's what makes this better than just a discount. For most trees, shrubs, and perennials in most parts of the country, fall is actually the better time to plant anyway. The soil is still warm enough for roots to grow. The air is cooler so the plant isn't fighting heat stress, and it has months to establish underground before it has to support any top growth in spring. So you're not making a compromise to save money. You're buying at the lowest price of the year and planting at the best time of year at the same time. The plants will look rough on the rack, half wilted and past bloom. That's cosmetic. Check that the stems and roots are healthy and ignore the tired foliage. And number 1, the biggest one of all, the one that turns your yard into a permanent source of free plants. Divide and propagate what you already own. Most homeowners buy every single plant in their yard, every time, and never realize that a large portion of what's already growing out there will multiply itself for free if you let it. Perennials like hostas, daylilies, ornamental grasses, black-eyed Susans, and irises don't just get bigger over the years. They form clumps that can be physically dug up and split apart into multiple separate plants, each with its own roots, each of which grows into a full plant on its own. You dig the clump, cut or pull it into sections with a spade or a knife, and replant them. One mature hosta can become 4 or 5 plants. One clump of ornamental grass can fill an entire section of bed. Doing this every few years is genuinely good for the plants too, because overcrowded clumps decline and often die out in the middle, so dividing them keeps them vigorous. And here's the compounding part. If you're planting in repeated groups for that intentional designed look, the same plant repeated in 3s and 5s through a bed, division is exactly how you get the quantity you need without buying a single thing. Fall and early spring are the windows to do it. A yard that you divide from every few years stops being a thing you keep spending money on and starts being a thing that supplies itself. So let's run them back. 5 DIY landscaping tips that actually save you money. Cut a clean spade edge instead of buying plastic edging that will work its way out of the ground. Stop buying mulch in bags and get it in bulk or free from a tree company. Buy your plants in 1-gallon sizes instead of 5 because the small ones catch up. Shop the end-of-season clearance window when the prices are lowest and the planting timing is actually better. And the big one, divide and propagate the perennials you already own so you never have to buy that plant again. Notice what's not on this list. Not one of these is about spending more to get a better result. Every single one of them is about knowing where the markup is and stepping around it. That's the entire difference between a yard that cost a fortune and a yard that just looks like it did. If this saved you some money, do me a favor and hit subscribe. This is Yardworthy, where we show you how to get the yard you want without wasting money. I'll see you in the next one.